My youngest got up in the middle of the night. Had to take care of that. And she just kicks, man. She gets up in the middle of the night. She needs love and attention. We give her love and attention, but then she inevitably ends up in our bed, which means that she's just kicking and rolling. And anyway, um, this morning, after the training, we'll have a discussion, and the title of that discussion is Hate Feels Great. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I understand personally about the feeling of hate and, how I think it relates to the practice and to all of you. So get settled in. I'm going to ring the bell. Time to train. Time to train. So be kind of getting to your seat, getting squared away, finding what's most comfortable for you today. And then let's begin. Eyes and ears, eyes and ears. Distance, right? They give us access to distance, movement, activity. It's the thing that is the two things that kind of really support situational awareness. Eyes and ears, eyes and ears. So when you think about in your own life and practicing right now, where and why you use your eyes, where and why you use your ears with kind of your utmost attention. What do you look at? What do you notice? With mindfulness, you take those bigger pictures, you take that bigger thing, that bigger image, and you break it down to its pieces, its qualities. And the reason why you break it down into the qualities is that that's the stuff that's kind of taking up the moment. If you go into the larger picture, that's the story. You can get lost in the story. So instead of I'm in a garage and it was built and blah 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 blah, it's concrete floor, red, black, shadow. Becoming present with the qualities of the moment, the qualities of your moment of seeing. And then, if you feel safe, shut that down. Close the eyes. Now the qualities of the moments of hearing. It's not early in the morning on June 23rd, the sun's coming out, blah, 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 blah. No. It's not a novel. It's the qualities. It's refrigerator sound. Multiple birds. Remember sit reps? Remember sit reps? It's quick. It's just it's the qualities of the moment. It's not the big picture, it's the qualities of the moment. It's training the mind to get to the qualities of the moment. The qualities of the moment. Not the story, the qualities of the moment. Distance, how far away? Quiet spaces. The mind can be set on story or the mind can be set on the moment. You want to set the mind on the moment. The mind is mostly attached to story because it's what we mostly do. So that's why we train. We train to get the mind to see other capabilities that it has kind of left out. Once you've assessed your eyes and ears, skin and mouth. Skin and mouth. So touch. So you've got temperature in the mouth, temperature on the skin. Touch. So if you think about your clothing, where's your clothing touching you? Where's your clothing not touching you? Mouth. Take your tongue, move it around your teeth. Feel your teeth. Take your tongue and move it around your cheeks. Notice the difference. There's a hardness. There's a softness. Now sense of smell. The act of smelling is the key. Each time you focus, present moment, put your attention on the present moment, it gets easier to be focused on the present moment. Your brain learns really, really fast. It especially learns when your system, your central nervous system, is quiet and calm. It's part of the reason why the training takes place for me in the morning. Part of the reason why no one ever trades with me live. Who wants to wake up at 6 a.m.? Maybe you don't smell anything. Or maybe you take one more smell, and there's just a little hint there that you didn't notice before. Let's move into second bell. Ground. Your body is almost worthless without ground. You don't have something solid to do what you need to do off of. Your body is just kind of self-contained. It can kind of do its thing within itself, but without ground, without leverage, without something stable, most of the capabilities of the body are diminished. So your ground is everything. Your ground sets up everything else. So right now, what you want to be thinking about is, how comfortable are you connected to whatever you're connected to? Couch, chair, armor down meditation cushion. Are you as comfortable as you could possibly be? And if the answer is, I don't know, then make a move. Pause the video. Get as comfortable as you possibly can. Make that part of your day. If something doesn't feel good, instead of just sucking it up, get comfortable. And feel where you're connected to your ground, what parts of your body are connected. Backs of the legs, bottom of the feet, sides of the feet. Overlapping, legs overlapping each other. And then from there, move into your pelvis. Just see what it feels like without doing anything. If you need to ping it, it's kind of like say, all right, you're reaching out to squat, alpha squat, what's going on? Right? So you just maybe move around a little bit, just a little, just a shift here, a shift there. Noticing where your body weight's situated, noticing kind of where you feel, what you feel on your rear end. After you've kind of set the pelvis, which is the base of the spine, you move up into your core region, above the pelvis, below the torso. Just focus on the region of the belly button. Just notice the belly button against maybe fabric of clothing. And then from the belly button in, imagine the space between your belly button and your spine. And kind of picture it. Imagine an invisible line from your belly button to your spine. And then imagine that region being let go. Imagine that region being released of effort, released of any tension. Just imagine it being softer. Move up from the belly to the heart space. Heart space or the torso, upper torso. Think about bottom ribs. Think about traveling up the bottom ribs to the breastbone. Think about the space in between the breastbone and the spine. Just picture space, picture a line, an invisible line between your breastbone and your spine. You can kind of imagine kind of to the left of that invisible line is the heart. Surrounding that's the lungs. Surrounding that's the rib cage. On top of the rib cage, you've got collarbones and shoulder blades. Maybe it would feel good to move those guys. And from there, come up into the throat. Column of the throat. Think of the back column of the throat. The back of the column of the throat where the spine is. Just imagine that region just kind of like melting down. There's just no effort. There's always a little bit of tension in the body, but mostly that tension's there, and it doesn't have to be. A little bit's there because you have to be upright, but most of that tension's there just because we've just unconsciously left it there. So now get to the sides of your throat, the sides of your neck, and just imagine that region getting softer, open. Now the front of the neck. Now imagine the esophagus, or like the tube of the neck. Imagine that space opening. Imagine it kind of being cleared out of any kind of pressure or effort, just kind of an open space. And as you open that space in your mind's eye, you can kind of back it up with sensation by seeing if you can feel a swallow. If you can feel a swallow, see if you could feel air. Maybe you can feel air moving up and down the throat, just noticing the little sensation of air traveling. And move up to the head. Just juxtapose the feeling of the back of the head compared to the front. Right? So the back of your head is empty, just hair. That's what that feels like. Now your face is full, right? You got muscles all over your face. Soften the muscles of your forehead. Soften the muscles of your eyes, eyebrows, the muscles behind your eyes. All this stuff, all these muscles, they're all tissue, and all the tissue is connected, and all that connected tissue is interacting with your nervous system, and all that nervous system is interacting with your awareness. And the more aware and present you are, the more that interaction can be noticed in real time. Soften the cheeks, soften the lips, jaw by the ears, chin. And once you begin to hear the sounds of the third bell, get into your breathing. Just start with full inhales and full exhales. Just really max it out in a slow fashion. Kind of talk to your breath, like, how do we feel today, breath? When you're ready, take your breath all the way in as big as you can go. Hold at the top. Let go easy. You can use your mouth or your nose here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep blowing out. Keep blowing out. Keep blowing out until you get all the way to the bottom and there's no air at the bottom at all. And just stop your breathing at the bottom. Notice what that feels like. Take it in. Keep going. All the way up. 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 Hold here. Now, in the hold, look for any tension that's unnecessary, especially in the shoulders. Relax shoulders. Keep holding. Relax face, relax jaw. Let it out slow. Normal breath. Normal breath. Just pause here for a little bit. Notice that feeling. Notice the feeling of impact. Breath holds impact the whole body. Impact the whole body. Now we're going to do it again, but we're going to do it at the bottom. So I want you to start to notice, we're going to do 3 more rounds of this. I really want you to focus on what it feels like to hold at the bottom, not just what it feels like to hold, but also what it feels like to breathe back in. Okay, the relief. You want to notice the pressure, and then you want to notice the relief of pressure. Do the same thing with the top. Inhale all the way, expand, 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 hold. Notice the pressure. Notice whether you hold around the pressure. And then the release of the pressure, the relief. It's the two sides, right? You get both, okay? Let's do this 3 rounds. When you're ready, blow it all the way out. Hold. Notice tension. Try to let it go. Hold as long as you feel safe. Breathe in. Notice the relief. Okay, max out the top. Hold. Let go of tension. Let go. Notice relief. Blow it out. Hold. Take it in. Notice the relief. Last round. Take it in. Hold. Release tension. Let it out. Notice the relief. Last one. Blow it out. Hold. You get it. Just chill for a second. Notice your mood. Notice any signals your body are giving you. Notice the speed of your thoughts. The sound of the fourth bell will start to move out of the practice into preparing for the day. Let's see, got anybody in here? All right. So I just want to begin by saying that I am not the titles that I put on these videos. The titles are part of me, but I am not those titles. So I just want to say that. I understand, and you'll see what I mean in a second. But I'm going to allow my expressions to mimic the title. This title, Hate Feels Great, just to make the point. And so mostly what I want to do is I just want to be honest about kind of the realities of our internal space. I think I have for a long time paid attention to particular styles of internal environments, and I want to keep certain ones. I want to keep when I feel good, and I want to push away when I feel bad. And I'll just take the society's word for this, and I'll take society's word for that, and I'll just try to get this and that, and then I'll be happy. The challenge that I've had with that is that any attempt I have made to just kind of hierarchalize, right to say, to create a hierarchy of my emotions. This is good, do this. This is bad, don't do this. I have become less knowledgeable about my emotions in general, less knowledgeable about my feelings in general. And the less knowledgeable I was, part of what I think really threw me after Iraq was I was trying to stay in a particular mood. And when those moods would change, I wouldn't understand them, and I'd go into story. And because I would go into story, I wouldn't actually study the moods. And because I wasn't studying the moods, certain moods or certain feelings would just overwhelm me, just whoosh. Now, part of that has to do with my kind of biology following trauma. But another part of that is just that as a kind of individual in American society, I've had privileges around certain things, and other things I've been able to kind of just get away with, right? I mean, I've been able to get away with certain things that I know other people wouldn't have. And so, again, there was just this element of, I could mostly just skate by. I mean, I didn't have to worry so much about internal environments. And then there were other places for these internal environments that, could be expressed, and it was all cool, right? So like, just this notion of power, right? My power as a uh, you know I'm a member of the privileged class, right? So most of my need for self control wasn't really predicated on the need to survive or anything. It was just kind of predicated on you know kind of whatever, right? I mean, I just did not have to worry about things that so many people have to worry about. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is the position of privilege enabled me to kind of like interact with certain things with a level of freedom that I don't think most people have. But I want to, pull it out just to kind of make the point that, like, let's just be honest with ourselves. In certain aspects, the realm of hate, right? The realm of like hating the other, othering, like the other side, that type of stuff. It's just the best. I'll just move into the realm of football, or move into the realm of fraternity, or move in the realm of military, move into the realm of, just my team versus the other team. I mean, there's nothing better than having the enemy. I mean, without the enemy, like, what's the point? And so, hating in particular, I won't give you a story from each realm, but hating in particular the Dallas Cowboys as a Washington football fan was just the best. Like, I loved hating the other team. And especially in the arena of football where, hatred and violence and just like wanting the other side destroyed was part of the game, right? You get rewarded for that. My behavior in many football games was awful. If you had seen me in some football games and the way I acted, often intoxicated, just being with my buddies, and these were, we're all, upper middle class white kids. Not all of us, but not the majority of us, just kind of causing a ruckus, drinking and driving. I mean, screaming at the other team, screaming at fans. Like, it was just freedom, really, just kind of to do whatever we wanted to. And I mean, it felt great. Gosh, it felt so good. As long as we were winning, right? As long as we were winning, hate just felt awesome. And 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 I just remember just the up feeling, the lifted feeling, the adrenaline feeling, the destruction of the other side feeling. That all felt so good. And it was physically motivating. It was physically, I felt lifted by it. And, that was just great. It really was. Now, the problem was, and this is what I understand now, is that I hold shame from that. I feel, uh, I feel ashamed and low. I feel brought low by these memories, these feelings. So that's number one. Number two, the experience of those feelings over time was awful, unsustainable. It was fun inside of a particular environment, but to feel a sense of closed offness or closed heartedness towards others just really had a bad impact on me. And I think part of what my experience with suicidal ideation was that feeling of hatred kind of being given kind of free rein in particular environments without any check on it. I wasn't aware of this really at all. think it showed up as part of my experience with suicidal ideation. I think it was either hating myself or blaming someone else for whatever was going on. So the experience of suicidal ideation was kind of the experience of hatred. Just kind of, I called it my demon, and I always had this imagination. It would just sit at the bottom of my guts, just kind of waiting for me to give it all my attention, just like, yeah, yes, right. And it felt like it was there to, it's like hate is like this thing that just sits there. It's part of the human experience, and and at times, right, it's a powerful force, but I think it's the dark side, and if you let it become kind of a driver, it really fucks shit up. So I don't know. I mean, mostly I just wanted to be honest about that, and by me sharing, my hope is that you'll kind of look at it and see, what's going on inside of you if you're experiencing hate in a more kind of authentic kind of way. Study a little bit more, because hate combined with privilege combined with power, right? So political power. I've never had political power. Well, sorta. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've got more political power than most, not in terms of a place in government or anything, but in terms of my social capital, the people I know, the people who know me. So I've got power there. I've got means. I've got resources. Now imagine that with hate, right? Combine that with hate, and hate can show up, and hate's sneaky, right? Hate is not a it's not like this big massive thing. They're like, oh, there's hate. It's kind of sneaky, right? Hate kind of gets in there. I mean, hate has basically all the skill sets and qualities that all your other emotions have. It's just a different frequency. So hate's got all the kind of skill sets, creative capabilities, and powers that, say, love does. But hate takes, right? Hate like takes, sucks in, and blames. Hate takes, sucks in, and blames. Love gives, nurtures, and opens, right? So it's just it's a totally different kind of vibration, energy, whatever you want to call it. Now the thing is that they have feeling, right? So you can feel that lift, right? You can feel that lift with hate, and you feel that lift after a game, but it kind of comes crashing down. And so again, my point, and I'll get off the screen in a minute here. The point I'm trying to make is being honest about hate and its capabilities is important, because ultimately the problem with hate is that it doesn't sustain anything but itself. It sucks, it destroys, it eats, and that's all it does. It doesn't do anything other than that. So the good feeling that comes with hate is just like an ultimate trap, right? It's the ultimate trap. Yeah, because the more you hate, the more you interact with it, the less open-hearted you are. The less open-hearted you are, the more you need hate to feel anything, right? So the more you get feeling from hate, the more you have to have hate, and the less you feel anything else. And that's a disaster. A disaster. You don't want any of that stuff. It's just unsustainable. And ultimately, my feeling on hate is not so much moral. It's not like, oh, hate's bad, be good. It's more like physical. It's more that it just doesn't stand up over time. And it's just a kind of like, it's kind of just like, are you over that yet? Right? Like, come on. Like, that's your motivator? Hate, really? Haven't you learned that that's like just going to destroy you? I mean, we get movies about this. So for me, it's the morality of it's there, but more than the morality is the act of it, of the unsustainable nature of it. It's just not effective over time. So that's kind of the main piece for me. And then the third piece is that everything we do has an impact on the world around us. It's what we put out is what comes back. It's very real. What's coming out of us is coming back to us in different forms. And the type of people and the type of situations that hate attracts is just the worst. And it just, all the stuff that comes with it, it's exhausting. Like it's the worst. And that's part of what makes love so great. It's like, the more love you put out there, the more love you get back, the less you have to do. It's like the more open-hearted you are, the more the community builds, and the more the community takes care of itself and you in it, right? It's like, so you get to do less and kind of get more. It's like, why would you not want to do that? With hate, it's like you got to do more and more, lie more and more, keep up more and more and more and more and more. It just sucks. And so for me, the fact that it feels great, and the fact that I'm pointing that out, is mostly just a warning. You know, it feels good. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't last, and what it attracts just sucks. And so if you want to have a life that has the kind of lasting impact that's meaningful, that's resilient, I think it's important to be honest about this stuff and to recognize, like, oh, okay, there it is. Or there's some feel there to this. Okay, at least I notice it, because you can't heal what you have to feel it to heal it, right? You got to feel it to heal it. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Intentions today, intentions around hate. I think it's really important to be able to see the other side, especially the other side that you kind of other, right? They're the other, right? If you can see the other side and not hate them and open your heart to them, it's so much easier to interact with them. So for me, today, if I interact with anybody who I kind of perceive as on the other side of, say, the political spectrum, I'm going to do my best to not hate them and not feel a sense of fuck you, die. Not feel that, or maybe I will feel that, but I will immediately open my heart. And so even if I'm hearing the nastiest kinds of stuff, I will be open-hearted, and I will not engage. I will not try to dominate. I'll not try to win. I will simply be open-hearted and friendly and kind. That's what I will do today. So if you have any thoughts to share on Hate Feels Great, share away. Always interested in your opinions and your thoughts. Thank you for your time, Armor Down. I will see you tomorrow. Remember, next week I'm taking the week off. See you tomorrow.